There are none in Westeros who can say with certainty when the world began. Some say it is 40,000 years, or perhaps as much as 500,000, or even more, for in these early times known as the Dawn Age, men were not lettered. All we know for certain is that the world was far more primitive, a barbarous place of tribes living directly from the land. The eastern lands of Essos and beyond were awash with many peoples, uncivilized as all the world was, yet numerous. On Westeros, however, from the lands of always winter to the sandy deserts of dawn, only two peoples existed, the children of the forest and the giants. Of the giants in the Dawn Age, little is known, as no one gathered their tales, their legends or history. All accounts we do have say that they were huge, powerful creatures, but simple, growing to 10 to 14 feet in height and covered in thick fur that is thicker below their waist. The fur of the older giants becomes grey and streaked with white. Their heads are thrust forward from their shoulder blades, they have square teeth and tiny eyes. It is thought that their eyesight is poor and they snuffle constantly, smelling as much as they see. The giants had no kings or lords and made no homes save in caverns and under tall trees. They worked neither metal nor fields. They remained creatures of the Dawn Age even as the ages passed them by. They are believed by the people of Westeros to be completely extinct now. However, Brothers of the Night's Watch and the Wildlings say that they still live beyond the wall, which according to legend they helped build along with the children and Brandon the Builder, but more on that on another time. The children of the forest were in many ways the opposites of the giants, as small as children but dark and beautiful. They worked no metal, but they had a great knowledge in working obsidian, what the small folk called dragonglass, to make tools and weapons. They wore no clothes but were skilled in making garments of leaf and bark. They learned to make bows of weirwood and construct flying snares of grass, and both sexes hunted with these. Their song and music was said to be as beautiful as they were, but what they sung of is not remembered, save in small fragments passed down from ancient days. Their speech was described as sounding like the song of stones in a brook, or wind through leaves, or the rain upon water. It seems clear that their speech originated or drew inspiration from the sounds they heard every day. The children worshipped the nameless gods, now known as the old gods, that would one day become the gods of the first men. It was the children who carved the faces into the weirwoods. People claim it was through these faces that the green seers, the wise men of the children, could keep an eye on what was happening in distant locations. The children could once be found all over Westeros. They made their homes simply, constructing no houses or castles, but living in woods, crannogs, caverns and hollow hills. It is said that in the woods they made shelters of leaves up in the branches of trees. It is thought that they did this for protection from shadow cats and direwolves, which were both much more populous back then. It is thought that the children and giants would sometimes enter into conflict. There is evidence to back this up in a study of a barrow near Long Lake by Maester Kennet, where a giant's remains contained obsidian arrowheads in the ribs which were used by the children. They were thought to fight over things such as caverns they wanted to call their homes. A possibility arises for a third race to have inhabited the Seven Kingdoms in the Dawn Age. Among the Ironborn, it is said that the first of the first men to arrive on the Isles found the famous seastone chair on Old Wick, but the islands were uninhabited. If true, the nature of its origin remains a mystery. In a collection of Ironborn legends, songs the drowned men sing has suggested the chair was left by visitors from across the Sunset Sea, but this is just speculation with no evidence to back it up. But there was a new and much more advanced peoples on the horizon, the First Men, who crossed the Arm of Dawn to settle Westeros, anywhere between 8 and 12,000 years ago. In the next episode we will be looking into the coming of the First Men and their hundreds of years of conflict with the Children of the Forest.